Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be my thoughts on Guild Wars 2. So this game is actually quite a bit of fun. Just leveling up in general is actually really good. Their story is solid. Their gameplay is fun. The fact that different weapons give you different abilities is really interesting. Their builds, they can actually vary quite a bit. So if we take a look at some of the things in our character menu after I kill this thing, we have equipment. So obviously this is your gear. This is what has the stats, right? We have our wardrobe. We have our outfits. Wardrobe is like your quote unquote transmog. Outfits is obviously your cash shop items. So you can change that depending on what you have. I have something that I really like, but that's just comical. Okay. But there's a lot. There's a whole ton of them. I mean, you can do literally whatever you want, but you do have to buy them. That is a cash shop thing. There is ways to earn crystals or gems by like with gold. You can trade gold for gems, and I think gems for gold as well. Yeah, currency exchange. So yes, you can do that, and you don't actually have to ever spend a dime to get any of these things, but of course it will be quicker. There are things in the cash shop that are kind of pay to win. I will definitely say that now. I will not say that there are none, because that would be a blatant lie. There are things like that. Like, there's no getting around that. I don't want to spoil any story for you guys, so I'm just going to skip that. I've already seen all this story. I just figured I'd kind of showcase this on a level 1 character, give you guys kind of an idea of what we're looking at. Level 1, obviously this is a little bit slow. As you can see, I only have one ability. I mean, pretty slow, right? Not the best, but you're level 1. What do you expect, The starting experience, yeah, it starts out slow, but once you kind of like get your abilities, so at level 8, you have all of your weapon abilities. At level 31, you have all of your class abilities. At least the slots unlock, not all of the class abilities. Sorry, I misspoke. You will actually have a pretty good time going through the story, going through all the like side missions, which, by the way, they're public events. They're not just like side quests that you pick up. You just kind of walk up in the world and start doing the quest. It's actually really great. I like that quite a bit. I think that is how questing should be. Maybe have a main quest like Guild Wars does, and have your side quests and dynamic events as things that just happen in the world, because as they happen in the world, it makes it more fluid. I think they do a great job of that. That is a fantastic way to do things, and I would say my preferred way to do things. But it does die down a little bit in the end game. So if you're a hardcore player, you might have less of a good time than a casual player. You'll have a lot of fun for a while. The PvE, it's really good because there's just world bosses. You just go out in the world and start fighting. There's big dragon fights. There are epic battles to be fought, and that's also a good way to earn gold. There's things called meta events, where they're just massive events that progress as people do them. I don't think they always have a boss at the end, or even if they ever really have a boss at the end, but they're actually pretty fun events because you have to cooperate with a lot of different people to get this one objective done, which is pretty cool. It brings the massively multiplayer aspect into an MMO. Whether you're grouping up with people or not, you're technically, grouping up with people, but you're not actually in a group. So you're not trying to find a group to do these things. You're just going in and being like, oh, there's people here, I'm going to do this too. It's perfect for a casual gamer. I think this is just something fun to do when you're just looking to kind of kick back and relax. It's a fun game. It's a solid game, and I think it's a good alternative from like Warcraft or Final Fantasy. Those are both vertical progression MMOs. This is horizontal. So there are big differences. Um, you know, you you may not feel like your progression is doing anything sometimes in this, but it is. It's just not as noticeable as, say, a gear upgrade in Warcraft. There are gear upgrades in this, of course, at the end. There's fractals that you can do to get them. Uh, there's raids. Like, they have all the end game progression type stuff, but you're doing it for slight upgrades instead of massive upgrades. And when I say slight, I mean slight. But it's still worth doing. It's pretty fun. I mean, I've never done a raid myself, but fractals, I can actually say I liked them. I thought they were fun. But would I want to do that all the time? Not really. That would not be the main thing I want to do. But that's just me. That would not be my focus. I can honestly say that. But there are other things too. There's PvP. You have your unranked and your ranked, both of which are a lot of fun. PvP in this game is really good. So if you like PvP, it's actually a lot of fun. And you can go in there if you're, say, just playing free to play. You can go in there at level 3 and you will be level 80 with maxed out everything just like everyone else. So there is some equal play in PvP, which is great. Just look up a build, follow that build, and you'll probably have a good time. Or if you're just wanting to kind of experiment, do that too. You'll still probably have a good time. And then you also have world versus world. Your level does matter in this. So, you kind of have to decide like what you want to do. You probably want to level a bit and then go into this. Maybe even get to max level, then go into world versus world. But from what I've heard, world versus world is awesome. It is actually the main thing that keeps people playing a lot of the time. Like if they're the, people who push endgame and stuff, the hardcore players. World versus world is something that I've just heard nothing but good about. And I actually plan to be trying it pretty soon. Overall though, this game, honestly, I think it could use a couple of things. Like, I think they do technically have a housing system. I think it would be cooler if they added something like an actual housing system, where you could decorate it. Getting achievements might give you like a trophy or some sort of decoration. But I think that a housing system with stuff like that would be cool. But I think that for every MMO. That's a personal preference. I don't think everyone would agree with me. I think a lot of people would actually disagree with me. But that's fine. Everyone has their priorities, and I think housing is something that needs to be expanded upon in MMOs. And it really hasn't. Like, it's always just, oh, you have a house, you might be able to store some stuff in it. Maybe you'll get a couple of things for a trophy. I think the best housing I've seen is actually probably Elder Scrolls Online or maybe even Rift. They actually had some really good housing for a bigger MMO. And I spent a lot of time doing the housing in both of those. I think Guild Wars could actually benefit from it. I think Warcraft could benefit from housing. I think a lot of games could benefit from it. But again, that's personal preference. Not everyone's gonna agree with that. Many people might say, "Oh, well, that'll take away from the rest of the game." And to a point, you're not wrong. You are definitely not wrong. But you also have to look at it as it's just more customization, and a lot of people just want customization. Like, that's a big thing to people. So it's a preference thing, but overall, Guild Wars does a lot right. Like, it really does. I don't even know what to rate this game, because it's maybe not quite a 10, but it's definitely not lower than an 8. This game has tons of fun in it, and if you don't like this game, try out Guild Wars 1. That one's also a ton of fun still, and I played a ton of it when it came out. I bought every expansion. I had a ton of fun in it. So it's a preference thing. You got to figure out what works for you, but ultimately, Guild Wars 2, great game. I highly suggest it, especially if you're a casual player. If you've played it and you like it, let me know. If you've played it and you don't like it, let me know. Let me know why you don't like it. Let me know why you like it. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Maybe there's something that I haven't done in the game that you have. I have all the characters at 80. Every class is at 80. So if I'm leveling another class, it's just to experience the story again from level 1. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.